Before you spend another $50, stop for just 1 minute. What if one ordinary-looking Kennedy $50 sitting in a forgotten drawer, an old coin jar, or even inside a family collection was actually the coin that collectors have been searching for? What if thousands of people have already spent these coins without realizing they were giving away a potential collectible treasure? Today's countdown is unlike anything you've seen before. We're revealing 5 of the most fascinating Kennedy and Franklin $50 that continue to attract serious attention from collectors across the United States. Some of these coins look completely ordinary at first glance, yet tiny details can make all the difference. One small mint mark, one unusual surface, one exceptional condition, and suddenly you're looking at a coin that could completely change the way collectors see it. But here's the catch. Most people don't know what they're looking for. They see an old $50, toss it into a drawer, or spend it without a second thought. Meanwhile, experienced collectors carefully inspect every detail because they know that remarkable discoveries still happen. Stay with me until the very end, because every coin in today's countdown becomes more exciting than the last. And coin number 1 has a story that surprises even long-time collectors. If you enjoy discovering hidden treasures hiding in plain sight, make sure you subscribe because our channel is freshly updated every day with incredible US coin discoveries, collector stories, and rare coin facts that you don't want to miss. Now, let's begin. Coin number 1. The first coin on today's countdown is one of the most recognizable commemorative coins ever released in the United States, the 1976 with D. Kennedy $50. At first glance, millions of Americans have seen this coin and assumed it was simply common pocket change. But experienced collectors know that condition, preservation, strike quality, and special characteristics can transform an ordinary-looking coin into one that receives extraordinary attention. The year 1976 was special in American history because it celebrated the United States bicentennial, marking 200 years since the Declaration of Independence. To honor this historic event, the U.S. Mint created a unique reverse design featuring Independence Hall instead of the traditional presidential seal. This special design was struck only for the bicentennial celebration, making these coins instantly recognizable and forever connected to one of America's most important anniversaries. Your coin carries the D Mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Denver Mint. While millions were struck, collectors don't simply look at the date or mint mark. They search for coins that survived in exceptional condition, with sharp details, attractive surfaces, strong mint luster, and outstanding eye appeal. An uncirculated example often displays brilliant original luster that flows across the coin when light moves over its surface. Every line in Kennedy's portrait appears crisp, while the reverse design of Independence Hall shows impressive detail. When a coin remains untouched by circulation, collectors immediately recognize the difference. You mentioned brown dots on the reverse side. These are usually the result of natural toning or environmental exposure. By themselves, brown spots do not make a coin rare or valuable. However, if a professional grading service determines that the coin has exceptional preservation, an unusual mint error, or another rare collectible characteristic, that combination can significantly increase collector interest. The composition of the 1976 with D. Kennedy $50 consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving the coin its familiar appearance while making it durable for circulation. Even though millions were minted, finding one that has remained virtually untouched for decades becomes increasingly difficult as time passes. Collectors today pay close attention to strike quality. They examine Kennedy's hair, the lettering, the rim, and the architectural details of Independence Hall. Strong strikes with minimal marks often stand out during grading and may receive premium attention from advanced collectors. Another reason this coin remains popular is its historical importance. It represents America's bicentennial celebration, making it appealing not only to Kennedy half-dollar collectors, but also to those who specialize in U.S. commemorative coinage. Because of this broad collector demand, outstanding examples continue to attract interest whenever they appear at major auctions or certified coin sales. If you discover a 1976 with D. Kennedy half-dollar that appears uncirculated, avoid cleaning or polishing it. Cleaning can permanently reduce a coin's desirability to collectors. Instead, store it safely and consider having it examined by a reputable professional grading service if you believe it has exceptional quality or unusual characteristics. Now comes the moment you've been waiting for. For the specific coin condition you described, 1976, with D. Kennedy half-dollar with brown dots on the reverse and an uncirculated appearance, you stated a market value of $198.00. I cannot confirm that as a current market value. Actual values depend on professional authentication, grading, and whether the coin has a verified rare error or variety. A standard 1976D Kennedy half-dollar without such exceptional characteristics is typically worth far less than that. If your coin has an authenticated rarity, its value would need to be supported by recent auction records or certified sales. Imagine discovering that a coin you've overlooked for years actually has a feature that makes specialists eager to examine it. That's exactly why knowledgeable collectors never ignore Kennedy half-dollars. They inspect every detail before deciding what they're holding. Coin number 2. Now we're moving to a coin that takes us back to the very beginning of one of America's most beloved silver half-dollar series. If you have ever opened an old family coin collection, searched through an inherited box of coins, or visited a local coin show, you may have come across the 1948 with D. Franklin half-dollar without realizing how important this issue is to collectors. This coin wasn't created simply as another piece of pocket change. It marked the first year of the Franklin half-dollar series, introduced in 1948 to honor one of America's founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin. On the front is Franklin's famous portrait, while the reverse proudly displays the Liberty Bell, a symbol recognized throughout the United States. It was designed by John R. Sinnock and struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 12.5 grams with a reeded edge. Because it is a silver coin from the first year of the series, it has remained popular with collectors for generations. Your coin carries the D Mint mark, showing it was produced at the Denver Mint. Although over 4 million were minted, this is still considered a relatively low mintage issue compared with many later Franklin half-dollars. Collectors especially enjoy building complete Franklin sets beginning with the 1948 issues, which helps keep attention focused on these early coins. You mentioned that your coin has brown spots on the reverse and is in circulated condition. Those brown spots are generally the result of natural toning or environmental exposure over many years. By themselves, they do not make the coin rare or dramatically more valuable. Instead, collectors pay close attention to originality, wear, eye appeal, and whether the coin has any authenticated mint error, variety, or exceptional strike quality. Even in circulated condition, this coin tells an incredible story. Imagine how many hands it may have passed through since 1948. It existed during the post-World War II era, remained in circulation through decades of American history, and somehow survived to be discovered by modern collectors. That historical connection is one reason Franklin half dollars continue to be collected today. Experienced collectors carefully inspect the Liberty Bell on the reverse. On high-grade examples, the famous full bell line's designation can add substantial collector interest. They also study Franklin's hair details, the sharpness of the lettering, the rims, and the overall originality of the surfaces. These details often determine whether a coin is considered ordinary or truly exceptional. If you ever discover a Franklin half dollar like this in an old collection, avoid cleaning it. Cleaning can permanently reduce its collector appeal. Instead, hold it only by the edges, place it in a protective holder, and if you suspect it has an unusual variety or exceptional quality, consider submitting it to a respected grading service for authentication. Now for the value. You stated that this circulated 1948 with D. Franklin half dollar has a current market value of $165. I cannot truthfully confirm that figure as the current market value. Based on current published price guides, a typical circulated 1948 with D. Franklin half dollar is generally worth tens of dollars, while only exceptionally rare, certified examples with extraordinary characteristics or elite grades can sell for much more. That's exactly why knowledgeable collectors never judge a Franklin half dollar by its appearance alone. The smallest authenticated detail can make all the difference, and every coin deserves a careful inspection before anyone decides what it's truly worth. Coin number 3. Now we've reached a Franklin half dollar that many people overlook because it appears worn and ordinary. But experienced collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. Sometimes an older silver coin deserves a much closer inspection before anyone decides what it is or isn't. The 1962 Franklin half dollar with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark. It was one of the final issues in the Franklin half dollar series, which ran from 1948 through 1963 before the Kennedy half dollar replaced it in 1964. Like every regular Franklin half dollar, it is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighs 12.5 grams, measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, and features Benjamin Franklin on the obverse with the iconic Liberty Bell on the reverse. You described your coin as having brown spots around the reverse edges and being in dirty, circulated condition. Those brown areas are generally consistent with natural toning or environmental exposure that develops over decades. While they can give a coin an aged appearance, they do not by themselves make the coin rare or highly valuable. What experienced collectors really search for are exceptional preservation, authenticated mint errors, scarce varieties, or the desirable full bell lines designation on well-preserved examples. One of the reasons collectors continue to admire the 1962 Franklin half dollar is its place in American numismatic history. It belongs to the last chapter of the Franklin series before the nation-honored President John F. Kennedy on the half dollar following his assassination. Because of that historical transition, many collectors enjoy completing full Franklin sets, ensuring continued demand for attractive and well-preserved examples. If you own a circulated 1962 Franklin half dollar, the best thing you can do is leave it exactly as it is. Never polish or clean it in hopes of increasing its value. Cleaning usually removes original surfaces that collectors prefer and can reduce its desirability. Instead, store it safely, and if you suspect it has an unusual die variety or exceptional strike, have it evaluated by a reputable grading service. Now comes the value. You stated that this coin is currently worth $185. I can't confirm that as the current market value because available market data does not support that figure for a typical 1,962 Philadelphia Franklin half-dollar in circulated condition. According to recent price guides, a normal circulated example is generally worth around its silver value, plus a modest collector premium, while only exceptional certified rarities or elite condition examples bring substantially higher prices. That's why serious collectors inspect every Franklin half-dollar carefully instead of judging it by dirt, toning, or age alone. A truly valuable coin is identified through authenticated rarity, condition, and collectible characteristics, not simply because it is old. Coin number 4. Now it's time for a Franklin half-dollar that often surprises collectors. Many people see an old coin with dark surfaces and assume it has little collector appeal. But experienced numismatists know that age alone never tells the full story. Every Franklin half-dollar deserves a careful inspection before anyone decides what it might be worth. The 1961 with D Franklin half-dollar was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark above the Liberty Bell on the reverse. It belongs to one of the final years of the Franklin half-dollar series, which ended in 1963 before the Kennedy half-dollar was introduced. Like all regular Franklin half-dollars, it is struck from 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it lasting intrinsic value in addition to its collector appeal. You described your coin as having a black layer on the reverse and being in old condition. In many cases, dark or black surfaces are the result of natural silver toning or long-term environmental exposure. While this can give the coin a distinctive appearance, it does not by itself make the coin rare or highly valuable. Collectors instead focus on originality, overall preservation, strike quality, and whether the coin has an authenticated mint era variety or the desirable full bell lines FBL designation. One of the reasons the 1961 with D issue remains popular is that it represents the closing years of an iconic American coin series. Benjamin Franklin, one of the nation's founding fathers, appears on the obverse, while the Liberty Bell dominates the reverse. The design symbolizes American independence and remains one of the most recognizable silver half-dollars ever produced. Although more than 20 million examples were struck, collectors continue searching for sharply struck pieces with clean surfaces and complete bell lines. High-grade certified examples are much scarcer than circulated coins, and that is where collector competition becomes strongest. The Denver Mint also produced some interesting repunched mint mark and minor double die varieties that specialists enjoy searching for. If you own a 1961 with D Franklin half-dollar, the best advice is simple: never clean it. Even if the reverse has dark toning or a black layer, cleaning can permanently damage the original surfaces and reduce collector interest. Store it safely in a protective holder, and if you believe it has an unusual variety or exceptional quality, consider having it authenticated by a reputable grading service. Now for the value. You stated that this 1961 with D Franklin half-dollar is currently worth $190. I can't confirm that as the current market value because published market guides do not support that figure for a typical 1961 D Franklin half-dollar in old or circulated condition. Current references generally place ordinary circulated examples in the tens of dollars, while exceptional certified coins with elite grades or special characteristics can sell for substantially more. That's why knowledgeable collectors never rely on appearance alone. The true value of a Franklin half-dollar comes from authenticated rarity, grade, and collectible characteristics, not simply because it is old or has dark toning. And now we're down to the final coin. Coin number 5 is the grand finale of today's countdown, and its story could be the most fascinating one yet. Stay with me, you won't want to miss the last reveal. Coin number 5. We've finally reached the grand finale of today's countdown, and this is the coin that leaves many collectors asking the same question. Could an ordinary-looking bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar actually deserve a second look? The 1976 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during America's bicentennial celebration. Instead of the traditional reverse, it features the famous Independence Hall design and the dual date 1776-1976, commemorating the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. This unique design was produced only for the bicentennial, making it one of the most recognizable half-dollars in U.S. history. Your coin is described as having black spots and a green dot on the reverse while remaining in fine condition. These surface characteristics are most often associated with natural environmental exposure, oxidation, or contamination accumulated over many years. By themselves, black spots or green discoloration do not make a Kennedy half-dollar rare or highly valuable. What collectors truly search for are authenticated mint errors, unusual die varieties, exceptional preservation, or top-certified grades. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 234 million no-mint mark bicentennial Kennedy half-dollars, making it a common issue in circulation. However, because so many entered commerce, finding coins with outstanding eye appeal or unusually high certified grades is much more difficult today. Collectors carefully inspect the sharpness of Kennedy's portrait, the detail of Independence Hall, the lettering, rims, and the original mint luster before determining whether a coin deserves premium attention. One reason this coin remains so popular is its connection to one of the greatest celebrations in American history. Every bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar tells the story of the nation's 200th birthday, giving it lasting historical significance. Even collectors who are not building complete Kennedy half-dollar sets often keep a bicentennial example because of its unique design and patriotic appeal. If you find one in an old collection, resist the temptation to clean it. Many people believe removing dark spots will improve a coin, but the opposite is often true. Original surfaces are generally preferred by collectors, and improper cleaning can permanently reduce collectible value. Store the coin in a protective holder and consider professional authentication if you suspect it has an unusual error or exceptional quality. Now for the value reveal. You stated that this specific coin has a current market value of $168.00. I can't confirm that figure as the current market value because published price guides and recent market data do not support that valuation for a typical 1976 Philadelphia Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition. Standard examples are usually worth from face value to a modest premium, while only exceptionally rare certified errors or elite condition pieces have sold for substantially higher amounts. That is exactly why experienced collectors inspect every bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar before spending it. Most are ordinary circulation coins, but a small number with authenticated errors, remarkable preservation, or significant varieties can attract strong collector interest. As we wrap up today's countdown, remember this: the next valuable coin discovery doesn't always come from an auction. It could come from a forgotten coin album, an inherited collection, or even a jar of old change waiting to be examined. If you enjoyed today's journey through these fascinating Kennedy and Franklin half-dollars, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because our channel is freshly updated every day with new rare US coin discoveries, collector tips, and hidden treasures that every American coin enthusiast should know about. Until next time, happy collecting, and always check your coins before you spend them.